Tonight, staying docked in the marina.
I can tell you with first-hand knowledge that the boating activity has certainly dropped off this year.
As gas prices go up, some boaters cutting down on their time in the water. No new developments in Wakefield, Quebec.
You have a treatment capacity. You don't want to be like, to the brim, right?
Why plans to build in the village are on hold as it reassesses the wastewater system. More U.S. tariff threats.
We're going to put a big tariff on Canada because of the smoke.
It comes as Canada pursues trade deals with Uruguay and the UAE. And a full weekend of festivals to enjoy in the capital.
Showcasing our culture, our language, bringing it to the people of Ottawa.
Sunshine, good food, family and friends. We take you to some of the weekend's cultural events across the city. Good evening. Austin is away tonight. We begin with the high costs at the pumps, making a summer escape quickly add up. Gas prices have risen more than 50 cents a litre since the start of the year. And as voters pay more for fuel, that could mean spending less time out on the water for some. CTV's Josh Marano joins us live in studio after your day at the marina. Josh, are the higher prices keeping boaters tied to the docks?
For some, yes, Kimberly. Boaters tell me they're taking shorter trips, slowing down, or heading out less to keep their fuel bills from making too many waves. For Bob and Carolyn Dams, the best part of their week starts the moment they leave the dock.
As soon as you hit the water, you can feel your heart rate drop and the enjoyment level go up.
But these days, that peace of mind comes with a higher price tag. Their last fill-up costing $226.
We fill her up once every few weeks, So it's not hitting us too hard in terms of the boating. We expect to, as part of the expensive hobby of boating.
At Hurst Marina, boaters are paying $2.38 a litre for premium, with diesel sitting even higher at $2.48.
It's hard for a lot of boaters to want to be out, especially when they see what our price is at. So definitely a lot of people we're a little bit hesitant.
While business has picked up with the warmer weather, staff say the marina hasn't been as busy as previous summers.
I happen to live along the river here, and it's been a lot quieter. We've noticed a big difference for sure.
Mike Hapke, just finishing filling his tank, says sometimes it's easier to not look at the total.
I resent you actually bringing the price to my attention, actually. Like I said, I try not to think about it too much because, you have the boat, you want to be out there.
And it's not just boaters. Back on land, drivers too say they're feeling the pinch at the pump.
The number one emotion I have is frustration with this whole, because it's unnecessary.
The price of filling up continues to trend in the wrong direction for drivers. Ottawa's average gas price rising again on Saturday, sitting at $1.85 a litre.
I really feel sorry for those who are really tight on money and all of a sudden there's this extra cost for them.
As for the Dams, they're not parking their boat in the dock just yet.
Just come out once a week like we do and go for a little doodle down the river. Maybe not hit it so hard. A little more cruising and less 30 miles an hour type of thing.
Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan McTeague predicts some relief for tomorrow, predicting prices to drop 4 cents. But some analysts say higher crude oil prices could push gas up another 5 to 10 cents a litre over the coming week. Kimberly.
Expensive summer, that's for sure. CTV's Josh Marano reporting live for us tonight. Thank you, Josh. Development in the heart of Wakefield, Quebec is on hold. The municipality of La Pêche is imposing a moratorium on most new development while it reassesses, the capacity of the village's wastewater system. CTV's Leah Larocque reports.
Wakefield is known for its old charm.
It's quaint and has a story to tell.
John Batten runs the bakery and has seen the village change over time.
Progress and development is going to happen. We just hope that it does so properly, effectively.
And now there will be no new growth. There is a moratorium or pause on new development in Wakefield because the wastewater system is nearing capacity.
I think it's an excellent idea. And we have to look ahead.
Things pointed to the fact that we're maybe reaching capacity. It seems like it's time for us to dredge the sediment.
Mayor Guillaume Lamoureux says it's also about planning for future growth before the infrastructure reaches its limit.
trying to maintain this healthy buffer of, like, you know, you have a treatment capacity. You don't want to be, like, you know, to the brim, right?
Yeah.
You want to have this healthy buffer where you're able to treat your input properly.
Neighboring Chelsea also hit the brakes on growth because their water and sewer system couldn't keep up with the pace of new development.
Just when you drive into Chelsea, it's all these, when you're by the overpass, it's all these cookie cutter houses. And it doesn't suit the area.
The two municipalities have seen a steady population growth in recent years. The pause here in Wakefield could last up to 2 years.
That's probably due to improper planning in some ways already. Can it be remedied? Yes, with proper coordination and collaboration.
Residents like Denise Giroux hoping any growth has a plan and is done right.
The issue of how important it is to properly plan development and create a vision of what you want and need, and not just allow anything to be developed simply because it ticks boxes in a list of some kind.
Leah, Larocque, CTV News.
You can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the new developments being halted in Wakefield, Quebec. All right, we'll take our first check of the weather. Beautiful day in Vanny. That's a look at the Sugar Shack there behind me. We'll take a look at what's happening across Ottawa at the moment. 27 degrees. We've got sunny conditions. Again, a few clouds overhead, but again, it's been a wonderful Saturday if you're out and about. Our overnight lows, we're looking at 17 degrees with some cloud cover for Ottawa. Pretty much the same along the Seaway. We've got 17 and 18 degrees respectively. 16 degrees toward the Pembroke area, 17 toward Kittigan-Zibi. Clear conditions in Gatineau. They've got 16 degrees their overnight low. 16 as well in Petawawa, 17 for Kemptville and Maniwaki, looking at 18 degrees toward the Montreal area. As for tomorrow's high, a sunny Sunday, but we could see some rain here in the capital as well. 27 degrees here in Ottawa. Same thing right along the Seaway toward Gatineau. They've got 27 degrees as well. Same thing for Kemptville, Petawawa, and Maniwaki. Wildfire activity remains high in BC with warm, dry conditions fueling 124 active fires across the province.
We're trying to plan the best we can, but also be very agile, should things shift on the moment.
This is a look at Clinton, BC, where hundreds of residents have been forced to flee, while an approaching cold front could bring increased winds that could potentially complicate efforts to combat the fires. Now, Clinton is one of more than 1,000 properties in BC under evacuation orders, with thousands more on alert. Nearly half of the wildfires remain out of control, with strong winds fueling some of the most concerning blazes. Several fires have grown, leading to expanded evacuation alerts and orders. Now, meantime, there are some positive developments to the wildfires burning in Ontario. No new wildfires have been reported in the province since Thursday. There are about 177 active fires burning in the north, forcing more than 1,800 people from their homes, a vast majority from Indigenous communities. And it was a week of tariff tension from U.S. President Donald Trump, as the president is showing no signs of slowing down and focusing on threatening Canada with new levies over wildfire smoke. CTV's Jeremy Charon reports.
The U.S. president unrelenting, sharing this image on social media today depicting the Canada-U.S. border separated by an air filter, and it follows these comments Friday.
We're going to put a big tariff on Canada because of the smoke. I've told Canada they have to do something about it. You know, we've never had this problem. All of a sudden, we have this problem with Canada.
The week ending as it started with tariff threats against Canada. Monday, the U.S. administration announced new 50% levies on a long list of goods in response to provinces taking U.S. booze off the shelves and Canada's supply-managed dairy industry.
People simply are not aligned with the president continuing to rail against Canada, continuing to attack the country, and also continuing to shape this narrative that somehow Canada has been unfair to the United States.
But the renewed pressure from the president could actually be a sign, says this international trade expert, that trade talks between the countries are ramping up.
from the ratcheting up of these tariffs, you get a sense that there's a reason they're going to do that, and it's going to be because it's our turn now, right? Mexico's done almost. They're meeting again in September. It's Canada's turn to talk to the Americans about whatever they want to talk about. Right?
Meanwhile, this week, Ottawa quietly signed a new free trade agreement with Ecuador and concluded negotiations on a comprehensive economic partnership with the United Arab Emirates.
If Donald Trump is going to continue to place a blanket of uncertainty over trade with Canada, then Canada is going to go find partners, investments, and dollars elsewhere.
Some, though, have questioned the Carney government's path towards trade diversification.
They don't achieve the diversification that the Carney government has been saying they need. And they also raise very deeply disturbing questions about the kinds of governments we're willing to work with.
The pressure is now on for the Carney government when it comes to a deal with the U.S. to either strike some kind of agreement before August 19th, when the 50% tariffs are set to take effect, or determine how to retaliate. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
And stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of Canada pursuing new trade deals amid the threat of new U.S. tariffs. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News channel at any hour. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says she's not planning to impose a ban on American liquor in the wake of the president's new tariff trumps on Canadian goods. Now, Smith says she does not plan to retaliate against the tariff threat with an alcohol ban, instead leaving it up to retailers and consumers to choose what to buy and drink. Several liquor boards across the country stopped purchasing American booze last year. Alberta and Saskatchewan reversed course after a few months returning U.S. liquor to shelves. Provinces including Ontario and Quebec have not resumed stocking American booze. Elections Alberta has validated a petition calling for a referendum on the province leaving Canada. Now, this means the pro-separatist petition has the numbers of signatures needed, but the vote isn't for sure yet. The citizen-led petition remains tied up in court after it was challenged by several First Nations, which say it's unconstitutional because they have not been consulted. Now, despite that, petition organizers say this galvanizes their movement, and they plan to put pressure on Premier Danielle Smith.
She promised that our question would be on the ballot if we had the requisite number of signatures. Now we have the requisite number of signatures, and she's still campaigning against us having our question on the ballot. Everybody feels vindicated, but we're extremely angry over the fact that they've decided to disenfranchise 50,000 Albertans. There's no excuse for that.
Election Alberta says more than 286,000 signatures were gathered by Stay Free Alberta. Nearly 64,000 signatures were ruled invalid. The Alberta government says the success of the petition won't change the separation-related questions that are already on an upcoming vote. A 64-year-old man from Ottawa has died in a crash northeast of Kingston on Friday. Ontario Provincial Police responded to the single-vehicle pickup truck crash that happened at Highway 41 and Highway 7 near Callidare, Ontario, around 3 p.m. yesterday. The driver was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Anyone with information or dashcam footage of the incident is asked to contact OPP or Crime Stoppers. And a man has suffered minor injuries following a vehicle rollover that closed the eastbound lanes on the Queensway near Maitland Avenue for a couple of hours on Friday. Ottawa paramedics say the man was the lone occupant in the vehicle that rolled and was transported to hospital in stable condition as a precaution. OPP say 3 vehicles were involved in the collision, but no other patients were treated for injuries. Ontario Police Watchdog has cleared an Ottawa police officer after a teenage boy was injured around the time of his arrest. According to the Special Investigations Unit, the officer deployed reasonable force. On March 30th, a 14-year-old boy wanted for robbery and assault was pinned to the ground by the officer after he was bear-hugged by a civilian near York Street and Beausoleil Drive. Now, the boy suffered a fractured right thumb. After reviewing video footage and speaking to witnesses, the SIU said it was unclear when or how the suspect was injured. Ottawa police and paramedics have responded to 4 assaults in the Byward Market in less than 24 hours this week, including 3 incidents involving weapons. Around 8:50 Thursday night, police responded to an assault call on King Edward near Murray, where a man suffered a laceration to his forearm. Police say the man was taken to hospital in stable condition. Then about a half an hour later, officers responded to a call for an assault with a weapon near Clarence and Cumberland Streets. A woman was transported to hospital in serious but stable condition. A 33-year-old woman was arrested and charged with the incident. Then later on Thursday night, emergency crews were called to Craig Henry Drive near Greenbank Road. Paramedics say they treated a man stabbed in the abdomen and was transported to the trauma center in stable condition. And then on Friday night around 8:45, police responded to George and Cumberland Streets for an assault call with a weapon, but say that this stabbing, that was not a stabbing, but paramedics transported the man to the trauma center, but did not comment about his condition. Well, another round of protests were being held across the province this weekend, pushing back against Premier Ford's leadership. Gatherings took place in Canada and in downtown at the Human Rights Monument. CTV's Natalie Van Rooy joins us now with the latest on this. Natalie.
Kimberly, advocates started protesting in downtown Ottawa around 1 p.m. this afternoon, gathering to have their voices heard on a variety of topics, including the state of Ontario's health care with ER wait times and a lack of hospital beds. Protesters gathered around the monument in Ottawa's downtown core, holding signs with statements like "Ford gets an F" and "Protect Ontario from this man." The group was one of dozens across the province that is protesting Ford, speaking out on issues such as the end to safe injection sites, cuts to OSAP, the removal of speed cameras, and the end of rent control for newer builds and housing.
I am someone who is very passionate about harm reduction, about persons who use drugs, about persons who are unhoused, about healthcare in general, and about my community and the future of the community.
Lois Pond said it's challenging to see the closure of supervised consumption sites and the cuts to hospitals. After a previous protest last month, the Ministry of Health said this year alone it's investing over $101 billion in the Ontario healthcare system, including a 4% increase to the hospital sector for the third year in a row, bringing the total investment increase to hospitals to over 50% since 2018. And CTV News reached out to Premier Ford's office today, but did not receive a statement before airtime. Kimberly.
CTV's Natalie Van Rooy reporting for us tonight. Thank you, Natalie. And a sad update we share with you tonight. Prominent Ottawa estate broker and a longtime host of CFRA's Open House, Paul Rushforth, has passed away. Open House co-host Frank Napolitano posted to Facebook that Rushforth died on Friday, calling Rushforth a mentor to many, a trailblazer in the industry, and an incredible partner, father, teammate, and friend. Open House will be on hiatus to honor Rushforth, but will return next Saturday with a tribute show to celebrate his life. Rushforth was 52.
This is for the entire city of Ottawa people. We just want everyone to be together and celebrate with us.
All right, after the break, we take a look at the great weather, the good food during the weekend festivals here in Ottawa. A live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. We're sitting at 27 sunny conditions here in Ottawa.
Someone's pulled off the ultimate comfort crime.
CTV and Move 100's $15,000 comfort heist.
Track the daily clues, and you could win a $15,000 Lazy Boy room makeover.
Visit Lazy Boy Canada, Searville, and Hunt Club for exclusive bonus clues.
Want to be sitting pretty?
Submit your daily guess at ctvottawa.ca or move100ottawa.ca.
CTV and Move 100's $15,000 comfort heist.
Brought to you by Lazy Boy, Ottawa, Gatineau, and Kingston.
Comfort that fits your life.
Well, many people were out and about enjoying a weekend of festivals here in Ottawa. Now, among the celebrations, we've got Ottawa's Tamil Fest, Veg Ottawa Fest, and the Canada Night Market, drawing in families to dive into different cultures and flavors. CTV's Camille Wilson checked out those festivals today. Camille, how'd it go?
Well, Kimberly, once summer reaches, you know what time it is. It's festival time, a time that families are able to explore the different cultures and traditions of the many ethnicities and groups that we are so fortunate to be surrounded by. And today, I got a chance to check out a few of them around the city, try new dishes, and even learn a new instrument. It's festival season in Ottawa, and many are taking the opportunity to create new experiences. Traditional dishes, clothing, and music fill the Ottawa Tamil Festival, a cultural display for Primrose Watson and her family.
We just moved to Ottawa from Nova Scotia, and for me, it's important that my children understand their ancestors and their history and their culture.
Meaningful moments for Watson to explore parts of her heritage for the first time with her kids.
We're very grateful to be Canadian and be in Canada and to be able to experience a part of us that would have been gone forever.
This is our 4th annual Tamil festival. It's called Kondatam in Tamil. And what we're here is just showcasing our culture, our language, bringing it to the people of Ottawa, and giving the community an opportunity to come together and celebrate.
Across town, the Canada Night Market on Hazeldean Road, showcasing the flavors, culture, and energy of an Asian-inspired market.
We like experiencing different cultures with the foods that go with the culture.
And for the plant-based lovers in the capital, the Veg Ottawa Fest is where it's at, celebrating vegan living.
Today is my birthday, and Dave said, "What do you want to do for your birthday?" And I said, "I want to do something to help the animals." So we looked online. Here comes the Ottawa Veg Fest, so this is why we're here. Yeah, which it's wonderful. This is a wonderful.
And what better way to spend a special day with plant-based products?
Almost 60 different vendors selling food and cosmetics and art and all kinds of different things that are sustainable and compassionate and healthy and animal friendly.
These events also giving the opportunity for small businesses to grow, as well as bring the communities together. Kimberly.
CTV's Camille Ruthson reporting live for us tonight. Thank you so much, Camille. All right, we'll take another look at what's happening weather-wise in the capital. Man, I'm so excited to talk about how great the weather is. I can't get that out. We'll take a quick look through our satellite radar right now. But before we do that, we'll take a look at what people were doing out and about in Ottawa today. Yeah, enjoying the sun. Gorgeous day to be out on the water, people kayaking, out on sailboats as well. So if you were out, it was a little bit warm, but again, not that sticky, warm humidity that we had to deal with in previous weeks. So I'll look through the satellite radar right now. Again, we do have some cloud cover that'll be rolling into the Ottawa area. We could see some showers for your Sunday. So today was probably the better day of the weekend to get out. So if you were out, good on ya. Here's a look at how things are shaping up across the country. We've got 30 degrees up in Goose Bay, warm there, 16 degrees with overcast skies towards the St. John's area, 26 and sunshine in Charlottetown, 27 and sunny as well in Fredericton, 22 degrees with some cloud cover in the Halifax area. Here in Ottawa, we're sitting around 27 degrees, a mix of sun and cloud right now, 24 degrees toward the Toronto area, 21 in Sudbury, 26 in Windsor, and 29 degrees up toward Thunder Bay. So very warm here in the province. 28 degrees with sunshine in Winnipeg. Looking at 33 degrees toward Regina. They've got a heat wave going through that area. 29, toward the Saskatoon area. 31 degrees with some cloud cover in Calgary, 25 degrees toward Edmonton, and some cloudy skies, possibly a little shower here and there toward the Vancouver area. Taking a look towards our region, we've got, again, a few clouds here in Ottawa with some cloud cover in the overnight, but tomorrow on Sunday, we could see some showers in the afternoon. 27 degrees looks like it's going to be the high, something around that area. Toward the valley, we've got a chance of showers overnight as well, continuing into your Sunday. 27 degrees will be the high tomorrow in that area. And then along the Seaway, we've got a few clouds overnight. Chance of showers again for your Sunday, 27 degrees, another warm Sunday for us here right across the region. Here's how the week is shaping up. Again, 40% chance of those showers happening in the afternoon, 27 degrees the high. And look at this, doesn't look like it's going to be the driest of weeks, quite the opposite actually. 40% chance of showers on Monday and Tuesday, 28 degrees the high on Monday, 25 degrees the high on Tuesday, and more showers Wednesday, Thursday, pretty much right throughout the week. Look at next weekend, 50% of showers, 28 degrees will be the high, so it'll be a warm and wet week ahead. come back, the best of the best in car culture on full display today in Lansdowne. We'll take you behind the wheel. Plus, we'll have more of the stories you need to know after the break.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
With a laid-back vibe.
where foodies love their sweets,
And markets bursting with flavor.
wrapped up in waterways.
And hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display.
And the future.
Meets the past.
Where people come together.
Always proud.
Often loud. Whee!
And positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa!
Here's a live look at the Queensway, eastbound and westbound traffic. Overall moving not too badly right now. We're not looking at any major slowdowns or crashes if you are planning to head out onto the roads anytime soon. Well, the cost of diesel is surging again, and grocers are warning that what starts at the pump could end up on your bill. As Maria Saru reports from PEI, farmers and businesses are paying some of the biggest fuel prices in the country.
Diesel powers the machinery dairy farmer Daniel Hagman relies on to keep his 120 cows fed and their milk moving to market. His fuel bill is already in the tens of thousands and only getting bigger.
That's profits lost. It's just money taken out of our pockets at the end of the day.
On PEI, diesel prices have eased from their spring peak, but climbed again Friday, now selling for about $2.44 a litre. That's about 17 cents above the national average. For now, Hagman says farmers have been taking the hit. But soon, that'll be unsustainable, with everything from contractors to feed costing more.
We have to pass that increase on, so it just keeps going down the chain.
And it's not just dairy products. Higher fuel costs will inevitably drive up prices on store shelves, says the Canadian Federation of Independent Grocers.
Those goods that are requiring long distances of transportation where you're importing them and also requiring cold storage. So everything from fresh fruits and vegetables to meat, dairy products, those are the ones that are most vulnerable to these kind of rising costs.
For Hagman, the next few months will show whether the worst has passed or costs keep climbing.
It cuts the bottom line for us, so really we hope to see an end soon.
On farms like this, the question now is when producers will need to pass costs on. Hagman says he expects that could happen before the end of the year. Maria Saru, CTV News, Hunter River, Prince Edward Island.
In tonight's big picture, the NBA's all-time leading scorer is taking his talents to Philly. LeBron James has signed with the Philadelphia 76ers, and this will be the basketball legend's 24th season in the NBA. James says the move is not motivated by money or family, but rather to continue competing for another NBA championship before he retires. It was reported that James has signed a 2-year deal with the 76ers worth $8 million. And now to some other stories you need to know right now. The City of Ottawa hosting another household hazardous waste drop-off event today. Now, the Waste Depot was at the Canada Research Park on Leggett Drive. Now, the drop-off is to help residents affected by the Canada Day flooding throw out some of the items that won't be accepted during garbage collection. That includes paint, batteries, computers, and automotive fluids. Well, people are out enjoying a nice afternoon at Pints in the Park at the Manor Park Community Centre on Thornwood Road. The event brought together food vendors, artisans, craft beer, as well as some live music on the free event, wrapping up at 7 o'clock. Well, the best invest in the best of car culture on full display today at Cars and Coffee over at Lansdowne. The event highlights luxury vehicles, collector cars, and classics, allowing people to get a sense of what it's like to get behind the wheel. Now, the next event will return on August 14th. And a group of hikers in the Rockies may have escaped a close encounter with a grizzly, but now they're facing charges. This video posted to social media shows the hikers and their dog in Banff National Park being followed by a grizzly. Now, park wardens have identified the people and laid charges for having an off-leash dog in a national park. Authorities say off-leash pets put everyone at risk.
I took out so many loans on my house, over $135,000, and I'm now struggling to make payments while I'm trying to refix my house.
Well, in case you missed it this week, after the break, we'll revisit the story of an Ottawa woman worried she may lose her life savings while dealing with the aftermath from the Canada Day storm.
Sips and sparkles. Win with Move 100 and CTV.
You and 3 friends could be headed out on a night to remember. You each get a $500 gift card to Charm Diamond Centers.
Plus, enjoy an incredible dinner at the Luxe Riviera Ottawa.
Enter now at our contest page at move100ottawa.ca.
Sips and sparkles with Move 100, CTV, and Charm Diamond Centers.
A little charm goes a long way.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
It's time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
If you're still looking for plans this weekend, as usual, I've got you covered. Catch Atletico Ottawa tomorrow as they take on Pacific FC at TD Place in what's sure to be another very exciting home match. Next up today, Weird Al, the comedy music icon, takes the stage at Canadian Tire Centre tomorrow night with all the fan favorites you've been really waiting to hear live. Last on the list today is the Capitol Pop-Up Cinema. Wrap up the weekend tomorrow with a free outdoor screening of Romeo and Juliet at Beechwood Cemetery. Bring a lawn chair or a blanket and settle in for a movie under the stars. Lots more happening this weekend around Ottawa, of course. The full list and all the details can be found at ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tanea Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, in case you missed it this week, an Ottawa woman fears she may lose her life savings after the Canada Day storm sent sewer water flooding into her basement in Bell's Corners. Like so many in the city, she's still waiting to hear from her insurance company, and she's running out of time. CTV's Austin Lee reports.
It's been devastating. Absolutely devastating. I'm living in fear every night, every day.
3 weeks after the Canada Day storm sent wastewater rushing into her basement, Catherine Peterkin is still searching for answers from her insurance provider.
Some people got clear water in. I got poop water in my house.
To make matters worse, before the flood, she took on a significant amount of debt to renovate her home.
I took out so many loans on my house, over $135,000, and I'm now struggling to make payments while I'm trying to refix my house.
Her plan, to sell the home as soon as the work was done. And according to her realtor,
in November, he said he could list the house for $400,000. When it came out in March, he said he could list it for over $600,000.
But now she needs to redo nearly all of the work. The parent company of Economical Insurance says we continue to be actively engaged throughout her claim, maintaining regular contact, adding we remain committed to working closely with her to complete the remaining repairs as quickly as possible. The company has also replaced her hot water tank and has committed to replacing her furnace. But Peterkin still has pressing questions.
Freaking call me back. Just give me an estimate so I can start getting the work done.
The Insurance Bureau of Canada says this type of insurance claim usually takes up to 6 weeks.
But on the scale that we saw on July 1st, where there were somewhere in the neighborhood of 6,000 people affected, these things can take longer.
But time is something Peterkin may not have.
I don't have money to cover my financing. So I have about 2 to 3 months left before I have to file for bankruptcy.
Austin Lee, CTV News.
Now, while at work, a car mechanic in Quebec stumbled upon a device that plugs into cars and prevents the mileage from going up. He's now urging used car buyers to be cautious about these devices. CTV's Sweeta Rassi explains.
It all started with a repair at this garage in Saint-Isidore-de-la-Prairie. Last week, a customer brought in their car for maintenance. Owner Maha Dredge says nothing was out of the ordinary, so as a final check, he took the car for a test drive. But something didn't add up.
We drive it for 7 kilometers. So when we came back to the shop, we saw that the trip was still on 0.
Confused, he turned to ChatGPT for answers.
They told us maybe you have a mileage blocker on the car.
It's something he's never heard of before, a mileage blocker. But after doing some research online and taking a closer look into the car, he found it.
And we were shocked. And later that night, I made a video on Facebook.
Salut tout le monde. It's a small attachment that plugs into the back of an odometer and stops the kilometers from adding up. And the video he posted online got traction. Dredge says within the last week, he received calls and messages from several drivers who suspect they also have been deceived. Since then, he's learned how to spot them and has taken some out. George Iny is with the Automobile Protection Association. After hearing about this device, he took a trip to Dredge's garage.
And it was something new. And we were astonished when they showed us the website to see the range of products that's available.
Online, it can sell from hundreds to thousands of dollars.
You know, this device is so new, I have no idea how you could protect yourself from it. I'd like to believe there's not too many of them out there.
Under Quebec's Consumer Protection Act, tampering with the odometer to reduce or change the mileage of a car is illegal. But selling or buying these types of devices are not.
It's a problem.
As for Dredge, he expects he will see more of these devices, meaning used car buyers should be aware what you see on the odometer may not be telling the full story of the car. Sweeta Rassi, CTV News.
It makes sense why they'd upcharge. I personally am not making reservations at places that are going to upcharge me $50.
All right, up next, Quebec restaurants have been allowed to charge no-show fees to diners who fail to cancel their reservations on time. But is it making a difference?
Pure Country 94. Ottawa's home for the best country music. Listen to Pure Country 94 on the free iHeartRadio app.
With the threat of a strike looming, possibly starting on August 2nd, WestJet is giving some travelers a chance to change or cancel their bookings. The airline says passengers with flights scheduled between July 30th and August 4th can make a one-time change or cancellation without a fee. WestJet says the move is to give customers more flexibility and peace of mind. Last week, the airline's cabin crew voted 99% in favor of walking off the job. The union says wages, unpaid hours, and working conditions are the major sticking points. Well, it's been a year since Quebec allowed restaurants to charge no-show fees to diners who fail to cancel their reservations on time. The law sets a limit of $10 per person, but it turns out some restaurants are charging much more. CTV's Denise Roberts reports.
The Michelin Guide touts Garde Manger as one of the top restaurants in the city. Getting a reservation there isn't easy, and if you have one and don't show up, it will cost you $50 per person, an amount several other fine dining restaurants in the city also charge. Given what it costs to dine out, some say that's reasonable.
I think so. Why? Because they have to buy the produce, they have to prepare themselves, they do have staff, they have to pay them, they have to pay the rent. At a certain point, people need to be liable and responsible for that.
It makes sense why they'd upcharge. I personally am not making reservations at places that are going to upcharge me $50.
Others think it's too much.
That's outrageous. I think that's a bit too much. I work in restaurants, and I think when people no-show, it really does affect the business. So I don't disagree with the no-show fee, but $50 is a little extreme for me.
Under Quebec's no-show law, diners are liable when they fail to cancel up to 3 hours before a reservation. But there are limits to what restaurants can charge.
The law is clear that the maximum is $10 per person. So even if
The merchant makes me sign a contract that says there could be a $50 fee if I do not show up. The law will still apply.
Option Consommateur says customers can dispute those charges.
First, negotiate with the merchant, tell them they know their rights and the limit is $10. They can file a complaint at the Office for Consumer Protection. That's the organization that oversees the application of the law.
Garde-manger did not respond to our request for an interview. But Quebec's Restaurant Association told CTV News the industry is following the $10 per person cap. Nonetheless, in an internal poll, its members said that amount is insufficient, and the association will be asking a future government to raise this amount. Regardless of the amount charged, it appears these fees are working. The Restaurant Association of Quebec reports the number of no-shows is down.
Recently, I had some plans with my friend, and it was one of those restaurants where there is a no-show fee, so I feel like that time everyone was on time,
And ultimately, that's the point of the law. Denise Roberts, CTV News.
It's so much smoother. It's so exciting. Like, you get to take everything in. It's mind-blowing. It's so great.
All right, coming up, a new look for one of the most popular roller coasters at Canada's Wonderland. Plus, Natalie will be back for a look at what the late team is working on tonight. And we've got another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. We're still sitting at 27 degrees here in Ottawa. Mix of sun and cloud. But again, a nice evening here in the capital.
Tonight, a BC community overwhelmed by wildfire.
The town was completely uninhabitable.
Residents flee as fires around Clinton grow. Later on CTV National News and Watch on Crave.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's a recap of the top local stories we're following right now. Increasing gas prices causing some boaters to cut down their time on the water and stay parked at the marina.
Progress and development is going to happen. We just hope that it does so properly.
Plans to build in the village of Wakefield, Quebec are on hold as the municipality reassesses the wastewater system.
This is for the entire city of Ottawa people. We just want everyone to be together and celebrate with us.
And we take a look at the great weather, the good food during a full weekend of festivals, and for everyone to enjoy right here in the capital. And we'll have a look at your wake-up weather as well. And one more look at the forecast. We have a mix of sun and cloud to deal with pretty much for the next little while. And then we could see a shower in the afternoon. A wake-up weather, 18 degrees. Sunny start to your Sunday, but again, toward the afternoon, we'll have some showers rolling in. 27 degrees will be the high, and then we're sticking to the mid to high 20s for the rest of the week. All right, now it's time to check in to see what our news team will be working on tonight. CTV's Natalie Van Rooy joins us again for a preview. Natalie?
Thanks, Kimberly. Well, tonight we take a look at how a proposed plan to fly jets out of Toronto's Billy Bishop Airport has been grounded. The update means the expansion, which would have allowed for larger planes, won't be taking off. A late Friday statement from the federal transportation minister, Stephen McKinnon, says our focus lies exclusively on the approved safety enhancements. McKinnon wrote, "We will not pursue any plans that infringe on treasured public spaces." And tonight we hear from residents at 11:30. And get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. And join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Thank you, Natalie. Be sure to tune in for that. So have you been to Canada's Wonderland?
I have many times. I used to love going when I was growing up.
Yes, same. Me as well. So it's a fan favorite, the roller coaster it is, and it has some new surprises. The theme park has been given a makeover.
And CTV's Carol Charles reveals the daring new twists and turns.
3, 2, 1.
It was an exciting moment for coaster fans as they rushed to be the first in line to ride the newest roller coaster.
Very excited.
The ride, formerly known as Flight Deck, has a brand new identity. It's now called the Daredeviler. Inspired by the high-flying stunt pilots and barnstorming air shows of the 1920s.
My goodness, are you excited for today?
Park officials say it's all about giving a classic ride a fresh new feel.
These new trains really make the guest experience much more comfortable and enjoyable. So as you're going around at 90 kilometers an hour, you'll feel the speed, and there's a little bit more open air for you as you're watching yourself on the ride.
And giving thrill seekers another reason to buckle up.
Smoother, it's so exciting. Like you get to take everything in. It's mind-blowing. It's so great.
It was fast, fun, and amazing.
I think the refurbishment worked very well for what they were trying to go with.
Despite the many loops and sharp curves around the bend, many went back a second time.
Once was great, twice was, it was a lot. It was great. It was great. Worth the wait, for sure.
So much smoother, you don't bang your head anymore.
Would you go on it again?
Yes.
With the Daredeviler officially back on track, Canada's Wonderland is hoping a new generation of thrill seekers will be ready to take the ride. Carol Charles, CTV News.
The trip to Canada's Wonderland as well, so it looks like people are
It's gonna be
due
fun.
for a thrill ride, that's for sure. Natalie's back at 11:30. Join her tonight. Thanks for watching.